I'm divorced. I was divorced originally when I came to Nigeria, and it got to the stage where I think you have to kiss a couple of frogs before you find your prince. So it got to a stage where I had met a couple of people, and they were really nice. It's not like anything was wrong with them, but I just knew that they were not Mr. Right or my Prince Charming, as the case might be. So it got to the stage where I just stopped dating entirely. And during COVID, just before COVID, I stopped dating, and I didn't date anybody for 3.5 years. I'm very decisive in terms of what I want and what I don't want. So at a point, I think when you know, you just know. And so that was what happened. So at a point, I just stopped dating, and I decided, and I gave God a shopping list, as it were. And I told God, these are the qualities I want in a man. And I wrote that shopping list to God in 2019. And I said, I want a man with so qualities. I listed about 12 qualities. I said, I want him to be successful. I want him to be good looking. I want him to be fun to be with. I want him to be adventurous. I want him to be polished, because I needed a man who could, meet me and, understand who I am, my Western, my African side and all that and all that. I want a man who is going to lift me up, who's not going to be intimidated by who I am as a woman, being a strong woman and everything else. And I made a shopping list to God. And every day I used to read it, and I used to say, God, please answer my prayer, because I just knew that I had not found what I was looking for. So all of a sudden, one day, this gentleman, and it's really quite amazing, because we actually met on LinkedIn. And people are like, what? On LinkedIn? All of a sudden, this gentleman sent me a message on LinkedIn. And my LinkedIn is not really a platform I use. I'm more like an Instagram and Facebook person. So LinkedIn, I'm probably on LinkedIn maybe once in 2 weeks or something like that, or once in a month even. So I get messages, and all the time I don't check them most of the time. But this particular time I happened to check the messages. And I saw this gentleman sending me a message. Oh, God, I love your designs. It's so amazing. They're Afrocentric. They're really cool, this and that and the other. And so I just sent oh, thank you very much. And that was that. Then about 2 weeks later, he sent me another message and was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude. By the way, can you chat? Are you single? Are you available? And I was like, So, I checked his profile on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, he sounds, very professional. He sounds reasonable. He's in real estate, blah, 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 blah. He would understand me because he lives in the States. Okay, we can be friends. And I'm thinking like friends, right? So he asked for my phone number, and I sent him my phone number. I didn't even think about it. I just sent it. And so, sometimes you need to go out of your comfort zone, because ordinarily I've been thinking like, what in the world do you want my phone number for? That kind of thing. So I sent the number, and 30 minutes later, and he sent me a message, can you call me on WhatsApp? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And this day, like I said, I had time on my hands. I'm usually not on LinkedIn. So a lot of times I don't even respond to the messages. And 30 minutes later, he called me on my WhatsApp, and we chatted for an hour and a half. And that was the start of it. Yes, we chatted for an hour and a half.